بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is your brother Gabriel Romani. Welcome to another episode of Real Problems, Real Solutions, where we tackle issues from the community. We respond to questions of people, real people who have real issues and real problems, as well as our practice of, alhamdulillah, counseling for over, mashallah, about a decade and a half, more than that, alhamdulillah. So before we get into today's problem, which is a major one, disclaimer, if you are not able to handle some of these topics, it's better that you just turn off. Second thing, please subscribe and share this video, because you might not, some people don't watch the whole thing. So please subscribe and share. Check out the links in the description and support this work, because we're reaching so many different people. We are helping them. We're helping them solve their problems from the Quran and Sunnah connected to the positive Islamic psychology approach, alhamdulillah. So let's jump into it. Assalamu alaikum, Ustaz Gabriel. I am a Quran teacher. My students are females only. And this is a female Quran teacher. One of my students once messaged me that she is attracted to me sexually. I was shocked and confused to read that message. Does that happen and why? Female attraction to each other. How should I react to the situation, and what's your advice? It's a very good question. Again, if sometimes I see people not accepting some of the things that we talk about, and that's fine. There's no need for you to listen to it. You can go away. But there are people who are actually dealing with these issues. When I was a school principal in a certain country, and being the school principal of a certain Muslim school of girls, there was two schools. There was a boys' school and a girls' school. I noticed this becoming a huge thing. Boys, it's a different story, okay? We talked about boys. But what is this issue of lesbianism? Why is it so predominant, not only in Muslim countries and among Muslim women, but the non-Muslim women as well? It seems that in the 21st century, almost anyone, or a lot of people, a lot of women, are somehow into bisexuality. I'm talking about the non-Muslim women. It's become like a hip thing. It's a cool thing to be bisexual. A lot of girls talk about bisexuality. Oh, look how beautiful, she's hot. Oh, I wouldn't mind sleeping with her. Or I wouldn't mind experiencing with this. And of course, these things get reinforced and pushed more through Netflix series and so on. In the words of one of the girls, said that every time I see two girls kissing, I get butterflies in my stomach, subhanAllah. And she was so proud of it. So I've seen it in the Muslim countries, and I've definitely seen it in non-Muslim countries. But the issue remains. This is a practicing Muslim sister who is a Quran teacher who teaches only Muslim women. We as Muslims emphasize on the whole issue of separation. Not mixing. Sometimes people say, why are you talking to women? Why are you talking to men? This and that. Right? Muslims supposed to have separate meetings, all this. Cool. But then what do you do with this? So this sister is teaching only women. These women are practicing women. This sister is not a kid. Okay, it's a woman. So how do you deal with this? Why would someone feel attracted sexually, a woman practicing to another woman? All right. Again, if you're not able to handle this kind of discussion, this is still a good time for you to clock out and get out of here. But if you reach to this point, make sure you subscribe, guys. Share the content, please, and check out my links to support for those who are suffering from these things and have a genuine interest because they want to solve these problems. This sister is a teacher. She wants to solve a problem. Like, who's going to talk about these issues? So, what do you do? First of all, let's look at understanding why do women get attracted to other women more than men get attracted to other men. So what I would say is, statistically speaking, as well as experience-wise, that women are more or lean more towards bisexuality or lesbianism. When I talk about lesbianism, it's not like full lesbianism. There's a scale now that they come up with called the Kinsey scale, which is from 0 to 6. And 0 is like extreme heterosexual, and 6 is extreme homosexual. In the middle is 3, which is bisexual, and then you have like occasionally incidental homosexual and so on. All right? So what's the issue? Why are women have more incident? They're more open towards this. If we look into the history of the sexual development and in anthropology, if you look at the history of mankind, you'll find in the history of mankind evidences to allude that women were, very much more prone to this. Yes, you have ancient Rome and Greece where there was a lot of homosexuality, but that was a bit more focused on because it was still considered like if two men are together, it was like something like, even though it was somehow accepted. But the problem is with lesbianism or lesbian behavior, it does not mean that someone is like fully 100% on the 6 scale, Kinsey, full lesbian. No, it's like engaging in lesbian acts. It was more accepted in society. People were more okay. Till today, a lot of men find it hot when two women are together. Till today, society doesn't look at lesbians or lesbian activity as such a bad deal. Unless it's like a butch lesbian who's trying to be a man and takes upon that role of being masculine. That kind of, they look at it like, oh, this is not good. But if it's like two feminine women or two females together, sometimes they think it's like, in the words of some women, that, oh, this is something that women do. We women do these things. We women check each other. We women experiment with each other. We women are more comfortable with each other. We women are attracted to each other. It's just a feminine thing. It's like, imagine if two guys would say, yeah, we men experience with each other. We men, sometimes do this. You'd be like, man, this is totally gay. This is disgusting, right? But we don't say the same thing when it comes to females. It's a bit more acceptable. So I believe, based on the articles that I read, the researches that I've looked at, and there is a lot. There's a lot, and I don't think the Muslim community is ready for us to speak about this. And yes, there are issues even related to the Muslim community. But again, of course, I'm sure right now by this point, someone is going to say, this guy's talking Ludacris. Again, he starts with these things. He's just making these things up. And, obviously I have to protect the identity of the people who send me these messages. So I'm not going to say, hey, sister, how about you come online and ask these questions so people can see that what Gabriel talks about are real things. It doesn't matter, okay? That doesn't matter because I get a lot of support messages, people saying, man, please do address these things. Continue the work. So I want to thank all of those who are supporting the work and helping me, continuing and encouraging me. And there's always going to be those who think like, comments like, oh, of all the topics that we should be talking about, here you go. He talks about this thing. This guy's sick. This guy has problems. Anyway, putting that aside, I believe that there's been a systematic attack to destroy the Muslim family and the family at large, okay, the nuclear family. And I think because women are a bit more emotionally easier to manipulate, and that is why when the Dajjal is going to come, right, the Prophet said that you're going to have to tie your women in the house. People think that, oh, this is insulting and you guys think we're lesser, smart. No, it's not about that. It's about the fitrah. It's about how you work. And this thing has positives because that emotion and that way has been abused by these people who are in the field of business of making money, propaganda. Females have been targeted through so many movements to sell things. There's a hypersexualization. Females sexualize each other. Everything, when you look at females, about beauty, comparing, makeup, this, that, lingerie, hair products, Look at social media. Narcissism amongst women is very, very high. Men get attacked and accused of narcissism when they behave a bit more, just more like confident, and sometimes they want their way and they put their foot down. And of course, there's narcissism amongst men as well. But if you look at narcissistic trends and narcissistic behavior, just look at social media and compare the accounts and the selfies and the amount of content that is produced by women, just because they say, well, we're females, we're supposed to be like this. Compare the amount of women who behave in a gay way or homosexual way or lesbian way and still say, we're straight. This is just what women do. This is women behavior. Women do that. Compare that to men. It's not the same, okay? So you can see sometimes in numbers that, oh, more homosexuals, men, this, but in incidents and in just the fact that it's accepted so much, I think women are targeted more and they show this kind of behavior more, be it bisexualism or full homosexuality or lesbianism on that end. I think women do it more. And I think because their fitra is more of an emotional fitra, it's easier to change. And that's what they've been targeted with the propaganda, with the fashion, with the movies, with everything, the popular media. And there's a lot of sexualization. So they have been conditioned to feel what is the standard of beauty. What is beauty? Not just that. One of the studies talks about the response to sexual visual cues that women show. It's a long study, but what I can draw out of that women project themselves sometimes onto other women. And through that, they project themselves onto what they find attractive and how they would want to be as a woman. And sometimes that can be mistaken for sexual attraction. So women, for example, again, maybe people are a bit upset about me saying this, but when they look at certain visual cues, stimuli, such as movies, they tend to prefer to see, especially when it comes to intimacy, they tend to prefer to see women. Might come as a shock to you, but trust me, I have the data to back it up. So why? Why would you say, like, why would that happen? According to them, they say it's safer. They feel they project themselves. There's an extension of their feminism or the femininity towards that woman. While with a man, they don't feel so safe. A strange man especially. It's not attractive for them sometimes to see a strange man, so they'll rather feel more connected to a woman. Women are more touchy-feely. Women are more, I love you, kiss you, hug you, my friend, this and that. Honey, you look beautiful, this and that, whatever, she's hot, right? So you see this kind of behavior. If you're to close your eyes and hear a conversation between two women without, you would think that it's a love relationship. That does not happen amongst men. So this is the fitra of women. And I believe it's been targeted. Feminism has really pushed that. Media, everything has been, so women now have become quite attracted to other women. Even if it's in their subconscious, it's been built, it's been pushed and drilled into them as they grow up, that they have to be beautiful, not just that there's a certain standard of beauty, not just that they should be like that, and then they project onto that, and that can be interpreted as attraction as well. All these famous girls, oh, I have a crush on her. How does a girl say that she has a crush on another, be it a movie star, a film star, or whatever? It is, they do say that, right? And the gender gap that's been pushed by feminism in the name of like equity when it comes to, for example, salaries and payment. Actually, it's a biological gender gap. And the more men and women are closer to each other, the more homosexuality or bisexuality is going to happen. Because there's no difference now. A woman can say, well, man, woman, doesn't matter anymore. And women being more emotional, they can connect easier emotionally to a woman. And it's easier for them in a moment of weakness, of trauma, to turn to a woman and to misunderstand their emotions of comfort for sexual emotions and to fall into it and to actually have a sexual relationship, which gets connected to obviously pleasure, which becomes a positive reinforcer, which pushes the woman to go back to it over and over again. Plus, again, having hatred towards some men, trauma towards some men, and having that kind of support, emotional understanding, an extension of her, right? Then basically she can find solace and support in that, right? So just to understand the psychology behind why, okay, that there is an attack on the female, on the Muslim woman, on the female in general, that there is a lot of, there's a lot of actions and culture around lesbianism or lesbian activity, not necessarily butch, but just bisexualism, girls kissing, girls being together, girls being cool in movies. It's been pushed onto the media for the longest time. It's been accepted by culture. Even men have been encouraging and finding that it's something attractive, and society has kind of accepted it. If two men were to do the same thing, that's a whole different story, right? It's gay, homosexual, it's disgusting. So that's to understand the psychology behind as to why some women might feel attraction towards other. It can happen also to experiences from their childhood. And those experiences, I call them as traumas. It can be under as molestation, being raped, or it could be just exposure to pornography or the wrong content in the media. Again, look at Netflix. So much homosexuality and bisexuality, specifically with women. And that kind of stuff, in a moment of weakness, a moment of forming your identity, can turn into slowly becoming your own identity. And that's why the Sharia is so strict about these things, of protecting our children in those formative stages, where people think it's so harsh, the Sharia is so harsh, and it's not, but it is for a reason, to protect the child so that they can develop themselves correctly. Now, what is my advice to the sister? Again, the question is, she is a Quran teacher, and her student, who's, by the way, an adult woman, it's not a child, it's an adult woman, from what I understand, she's 40, and she's an educated person, is saying, I'm attracted to you. What would push a woman to come forward who's studying Quran and saying that, hey, I'm attracted sexually to my teacher? Again, it might be that this woman has suffered some trauma. She might be looking at her teacher as someone who has charisma, as someone who has strength, their position as a teacher, the authority. All these things can be things that stimulate a woman in a position of weakness, of being vulnerable. So maybe something is happening in that sister's life, and maybe something happened before, and now it's being triggered and resurfacing from the subconscious, and now she's basically finding some form of connection to her teacher, an attraction that can be manifested into sexual attraction. This sister should remind her to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Does that mean we boycott her or this or that? It depends to what level this discussion will be. If she can hold herself and protect herself, then that's fine. The way I deal with SSA, same-sex attraction, I have a lot of clients, just today I had 2, okay, is basically these people come to me saying that we want to change, we want to, we're not happy with this, we're not proud about this, right? So imagine if I just tell them off. Everyone knows it's haram. People know it's haram. Now, for those who say it's not haram, then they have a problem of iman and kufr here. But a lot of the people who come to us, they know that it is haram. I have transgender clients who in the end, they cannot, it's done, man, like the damage is done. But they know it's haram and they will not act upon it. They're trying their best. There's a difference between that and someone who does not want to, and has kibr and does not want to change at all. So I don't believe that it's for the community to just, no, some people need to have qualifications and know how to deal with them. Because the people who are coming forward saying that this is a problem, I don't like being like this, I don't want to be like this, these are the people that have to be contained and helped. As for those who want to raise rainbow flags and do pride parades, those are the people that we work against, and we push them and we join hands with those who share our ethics and morals to work against this and stop them from indoctrinating our children. Because this is exactly, this kind of question comes from probably indoctrination. It can be a sum of things, an amalgamation of things. It's not just one thing that causes a woman to be attracted to another one or to come out. If someone has the desire, most people hold it in. But for someone to come out and look at the environment, look at the context. It's a teacher, a respectful teacher who teaches you Quran. It's not someone who talks about like sex, for example, or anything. She's talking about Quran, teaching Quran. And still for a person to come out and say, hey, I'm sexually attracted to you, it is a problem. There's a lot of lingering issues that are coming from the past that need to be targeted and solved. And if we don't have, and I keep saying this, if we don't have the right people, if we don't have the qualified people, imams, we have to be qualified, scholars, ulama, khatibs, these people have to have this training. We don't have it right now, right? Is it haram? It is 100% haram. How do you deal with it? Okay, we are not judges. Counselors are different. So there has to be some way to deal with it. For the sister, again, I say, advise her with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is it better for her to be left away from the Quran? No, she should be reminded with Allah, with the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ gave nasiha to people who came to him with sexual issues and sexual problems. He did not ostracize them or cut them away. He reminded them with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, was careful of them, but I would say that you don't cut her off or anything like that. Just explain to them, have a discussion with her actually, and maybe try to see what is the problem. Why is she feeling like that? Maybe there's something going on in her life. Maybe you can refer to me, inshallah, and I can deal with it. Yes, do I take female clients? Yes, I do. Okay, SSA, same-sex attraction, trauma, anxiety, all kinds. We have a good system, alhamdulillah. We have also 2 great sheikhs with us, Sheikh Abdul Wahab and Sheikh Shadi Yassin, MashaAllah, there's been a lot of people who are helped. Alhamdulillah, we have a good system to deal with things in a professional way, in a halal way, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And Allah is our witness that so many people are getting the benefit. And you can as well. So, barakallahu feekum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you again. If you like the content and you feel that this is beneficial, please make sure you become a patron and support us, inshallah, and spread this to others so they can benefit. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.